The 5-year, 28% tuition hike for the UC system is leaving parents and students with sticker shock. San Diego's Democratic State Senator Marty Block has co-authored a bill to ease the pain. He joins me now with student Ryan Heiler. He's Associate Vice President of Student Advocacy at UC San Diego. Senator, this bill would not prohibit the tuition increase, so how exactly, SB 15, if it passes, how exactly would it help students?
What this bill does is offers millions of dollars to the UC and the CSU contingent upon the UC rejecting its own proposed tuition increase. So while it doesn't demand that they not increase tuition, it basically gives them a very simple choice. Get a lot of money from the state or a little bit of money from your students.
So, Ryan, what are your fellow students at UC San Diego saying about this 5-year, 28% tuition hike?
I mean, all of the students at UC San Diego are pretty against it and pretty, we're all knowing that, or we all know how difficult these extra costs are going to put on students. And it's really just going to cut the accessibility of the UC San Diego to lower income students.
So, Senator, there's been some criticism of this bill in that it could eliminate the middle class scholarship. How do you propose to go around that?
Yeah, I don't think it needs to eliminate the middle class scholarship. We have a surplus this year in the state budget. We've had very bad budget years the last 5 or 6 years, and we've cut higher education. Now that the state has money, I think it's incumbent upon the state to use those dollars to help students like Ryan, students here at San Diego State, so they can succeed, so they can get the classes they need and graduate in 4 years. And we can do that without touching the middle class scholarship.
There's scholarships and then there are loans. Have you taken out loans, Ryan?
Yeah, I've had to take out loans.
And how much will you owe by the time you graduate?
By the time I graduate, I'm not too sure, but it probably will be around $25,000. But that's really, it should be more, but I'm lucky to have received the Cal Grant, so I don't have to pay that money back, and so that's helped me cover the cost a lot since I don't get any additional from my family.
Senator, what kind of support do you think you have for this bill with your colleagues, with the CSU system, within the governor's office, and from UC President Janet Napolitano?
Well, I think the CSU system will support the bill when it comes to its first hearing, which is just a couple of weeks down the road. We're gathering other support right now, but we're just starting the process, so we don't really have a full list of supporters yet. But students like Ryan up and down the state are very supportive because Ryan was very smart. He took out loans so that he could graduate in 4 years. Some students go 5 or 6 years, and it costs them about $55,000 a year for every extra year they're in school because they're not out earning wages. Instead, they're paying for classes, for books. It's just the wrong way to go. If you can finish in 4 years, you're going to save money. It's worth taking out a little bit of loan money now.
How much control does the state Senate have over an issue like this, given the fact that the governor has enormous power over the budget, and he has not yet committed to the $100 million the UC system says it needs in order to avoid a tuition hike next year?
Well, the process in Sacramento is really clear. It's the governor, the Speaker of the Assembly, and the pro tem, the leader of the Senate, who sit down and negotiate a budget. I chair the Education Budget Subcommittee in the Senate, so I'll be making my recommendations about education funding, which will include money to fund SB 15. There'll be a lot of give and take between the governor and the pro tem and the speaker. That will take place during the month of May into early June, and then we'll see what the outcome is. But I think the governor might resonate to this because he's all for efficiency in higher education and getting students in and out in 4 years, making space available to those high school graduates and community college transfers behind them because they're now out of school and in the workforce. It just makes sense.
So how receptive are people preliminarily?
I'm finding people very receptive. Very few seem to be opposed to the bill when you explain it to them. We just haven't gotten out and had the opportunity to explain very much yet, which is why I'm really happy to be here with you.
Senator Ryan, thanks so much for coming on the program.